a beautiful, beautiful tea salon gift studio here in Ojai, California, and it's the beginning. It's the first of many. I plan to franchise and have a lot of magic hours all throughout the world. So this has been my laboratory. I look at what people love, how to display things. I'm just really using this space as sort of a laboratory to figure out what works and what brings the greatest amounts of joy and what needs to be perfected and tweaked. So this has been closed to the public since COVID, but we've been taking appointments only. And that has been fantastic because we get the time with people and yet we can be really careful and all of that. So after COVID, the plan is to open up and have multiple locations. So if any of you are interested in being a franchisee of the Magic Hour movement, we will definitely have all the information ready in the next, I would say give us 3 months and then we'll have all the information. So you got your crystal teapot. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Marianne. It's beautiful, isn't it? Wonderful. Oh, good. Oh, Sophie's having soulmate in the garden. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Marjorie, it's hot here too, my love. We are all in it. So I am going to make myself some Harmonize. I need Harmonize today. And Harmonize, if you have ever had it, is a very special, very rare white tea. It's the rarest of all white teas. And it's a yin zhen silver needle. And it is plucked on full moons, and today is the new moon. And so today is a day where we will set our intentions. It's a very powerful new moon to set our intentions around anything to do with family and our personal life, our home. And so I'm very happy to be in this time with you. I needed this today. I always need you guys. But I'm just going to take my Harmonize and I'm going to use, we have these beautiful French presses that I use for tea here at the salon. And I'm gonna measure about 2 tablespoons because this is, there we go. So you can see the gorgeous white tea buds. And back in the day, this tea, Yin Zhen Silver Needle, was only reserved for royalty and in China. And it could only be plucked by sterling silver, well, they had to use sterling silver scissors on a full moon, and they had to be virgins. So there you go. That is the lore behind the Yin Zhen Silver Needle. Just smelling it reminds me to relax. The bergamot from Sicily, the tangerine from Spain, and then the roses from Bulgaria. And as the water pours, I'm pouring out all my concerns, all my worries, all the things that don't belong in my body or in my mind. I'm pouring it all out. And the one thing about a silver needle, which is so phenomenal, is that it's got these little tiny they're little tiny furs, and it's from the tea bud. And so as you watch the tea leaves unfurl and steep in their agony, you see all these beautiful little buds that are just flitting around and catching the light in here. And what that reminds me of is just the preciousness, the little tiny hairs at the very tips of those tea buds are what give it its effervescent flavor. And you can start to see them as they sink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I could just watch this all day, right? Can you just, how beautiful is it just to watch the tea? Sometimes I'm moving so fast, I forget that this is the point of everything I'm doing, is to stop and really notice and to be mindful. It gets so busy sometimes. Thank you for meeting me here in the place of where we are reminded to be mindful. And as I gently press down, my body is saying, yes, 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 give that to me. I need that. So, okay. So each of you, we're going to open our circle now with an intention. So bring your beautiful tea to your chest. Take a deep breath and settle in with me to that magical body of yours that is so lucky to have a sense of taste and smell, so lucky to be able to experience nature's gifts, like this precious tea that so much effort went into making from the source. Take another deep breath. Just wiggle it out. A lot going on in the world, a lot going on in our lives, a lot of uncertainty and confusion. Settle into your heart. And today I'm going to go straight to taste. I'm going to lift the cup to my lips. I'm going to blow on it and I'm going to ask myself, what do I taste? I taste the countryside in Sicily, where the bergamot came from. I know how gently these orange peels are pressed to make this essential oil. I taste the white tea as if it were fresh rain. It's so luminous and alkaline, and I can feel it soothing my entire system. I taste the roses and a touch of tangerine. I taste a bit of umami. It's almost like a richness on this part of the palate. What do you taste, beloveds? What do you taste? Then ask yourself, as you settle into your senses, what do you smell? I smell sunshine, countryside. I smell bergamot trees, like lightly flowing in the wind. Then ask yourself, what do you see? I see a pale pink liqueur filled with possibility. Who knows what will happen by the time I reach the bottom of this cup? Who knows what magic will happen? It reminds me that I believe in magic. It reminds me that no matter how busy I am with paperwork or with importing, today I was all about importing duties and box die cuts so that the jars won't break, and just all of the mundane minutia that goes into making something magic and beautiful. You can't have one without the other, I'm reminded today. I used to say with Zhena's Gypsy Tea, I used to say, it takes a lot of paperwork to save the world, because it just, business is busy. So, all right, my loves. Then you can ask yourself what you feel. I feel hopeful. I feel grateful for you. I feel glad that I was able to move this and that you still are here. I feel nervous. I'm going off grid for 4 days starting tomorrow to be with my daughter, and that I won't have access to the internet. So I'm feeling a little nervous about that, which isn't necessarily a healthy thing. And I feel hopeful that it will deepen our relationship to one another as she's changing so rapidly at age 10 and a half. Last summer, we were in Sri Lanka in the tea fields together. And this summer, we're just going to a campsite just to kind of simplify and unplug. Hmm. Lisa feels a cool breeze floating over her face, and like tea leaves, tightly wound and dehydrated, but when you add moisture, warmth, and time, we unfurl and release our full potential. So true. Karen, that's so beautiful. Oh, Lisa, you always feel so much. I love that. Yeah, we are somewhat hardened by life this year, I think. I think we are somewhat experiencing um, a state of detente as well. It's, do we go? Do we stay? Do we go? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Is it okay? Is it, I mean, it's just been a back and forth. So I want to give each of you a lot of compassion and love. And so, all right. So I'm going to pour myself a second cup and then I'm going to get into the reading. Okay. So, do each of you have your journal or a piece of paper or something that you can write down your intention? So, at the new moon, whatever you plant on the new moon, it grows. So, as the moon is waxing and getting bigger, it's pulling energy so that whatever is whatever you want to grow, it's a lovely time right now to plant that intention. And the New Moon Mastermind was something that I hosted for 15 years. And we set intentions every new moon, and then we really worked on allowing those to grow. But today, our tea circle ended up being on the new moon, which is so exciting. And so, what is the intention that you want to plant today into the soil of your mind and soul, and into the potentiality that is all around you? Because as it has been proven, we do somewhat control the energy around us with our thoughts and with our heart intentions and our energy. So what are you hoping to manifest? What are you hoping to plant today? Um, so if you want to put it in the if you want to put it in the chat, we can all hold space for one another so that we can plant intentions together. It's a big question. And what's powerful about this particular new moon is it's in Cancer, and so it's based in anything that has to do with the home or family. And so I'm planting an intention to really make my home even more of a sanctuary over the next month. I'm doing some light construction and I'm redoing a few things at my home so that I can begin to have a more seamless experience of my home space. I'm creating a space for me to work with the sound bowls inside the house instead of in the TV. So, um, Lisa, seeds of good intentions and health and love and happiness and peace. Beautiful. Karen, I want to be safe and happy. I want to feel less constricted. I feel you there. Sophie is growth through joy, professionally and personally. I love that. Growth through joy. Well, joy is inherently growth. We are joyful when we are growing, and we are growing when we're joyful. So I love that. So Amaran, is her intention is to take better care of herself and her husband, making our house more of a home. Beautiful. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, how that looks. And Melissa, is the moon is within my ninth house of Cancer, and I want more meaningful work. And that means developing my ultimate dreams where the world feels safe and nurtured. Beautiful. I hold that for you, dear. Absolutely. And Anne, my best friend and mom, passed away a few days ago. Oh, Anne, I'm so sorry. My intention is to always remember her, ensure my grandkids remember her, and attempt to be 1/10 of the kind, giving soul she was. Oh, Anne, let us hold space for you. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I'm so grateful that you had this time with your beautiful mama and that she imparted and instilled in you all that grace and beauty. I love, love, love that. We're here for you, Anne, throughout the day if you need us, okay? Suzanne intends to create containers with morning and evening practices that nourish and increase your energy. Absolutely. Joni to embrace a new status as an empty nester and to grow her sensual feminine energy. Oh, absolutely. Let tea be such a part of that. It's such a good thing. Christine, give herself more self-love and less self-sabotage. Let's definitely talk about that today. Yes. Everybody's giving you their love, Anne. And Marjorie, her intention is to continue to improve physically and mentally from surgery. Yes, absolutely. I see you in perfect, beautiful health, Marjorie. Amy, feeling abundance to settle into feeling the expansion of a romping adventure of life. Ooh, more of that. Beautiful. Nancy's intention is to continue letting go, continuing to feng shui room by room and donating many things that no longer serve. I love that. Then you can come to my house and do it with me, okay? I need to get rid of a lot of clothes. Suni's intention is to feel restful without guilt and uncover your purpose. Ooh, I teach a course about purpose, sweetie. Let me see if I can find the link to it. Email afterward and I'll look for the link. Sylvia's intention is inner growth. Beautiful. And Cynthia's, my intention is to feel less fear about taking care of my 102 years soon mother. I am hoping to ease my mother's transition to what she needs. Beautiful, Cynthia. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so as we enter the space of collectiveness and of the circle, we are more powerful together than we are apart. We are more more powerful in our intentions. We are more powerful in that which we want to project into the world. So note that your aloneness or any type of loneliness is not real, because you have us, and wherever you are in the world, we are here creating a safe container for all of us to express ourselves, and to, even if we haven't spoken it or written it, so that our highest good may be born. So I'm going to do a little reading from the book I've been reading from the last couple times, and this is The Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. What I really like about this book is its simple little tidbits, and I like to open it to a page that is intended for you, not me. So, well, all of us, but there, let's see what it says. Okay. Okay. All right, you ready? When you step into the now, you step out of the content of your mind. The incessant stream of thinking slows down. Thoughts don't absorb all your attention anymore, don't draw you in totally. Gaps arise in between thoughts, spaciousness, stillness. You begin to realize how much vaster and deeper you are than your thoughts. Thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and whatever you experience make up the content of your life. My life is what you derive your sense of self from, and my life is content, or so you believe. Content meaning things, information, right? You continuously overlook the most obvious fact. Your innermost sense of I am has nothing to do with what happens in your life, nothing to do with content. That sense of I am is one with the now. It always remains the same. In childhood and old age, in health or sickness, in success or failure, the I am, the space of now, remains unchanged at its deepest level. It usually gets confused with content, and so you experience I am or the now only faintly and indirectly through the content of your life, meaning an up, a down, an opinion, a this, a that, a response. In other words, your sense of being becomes obscured by circumstances, your stream of thinking, and the many things of this world. The now becomes obscured by time. And so you forget your rootedness in being, your divine reality, and lose yourself in the world. Confusion, anger, depression, violence, and conflict arise when humans forget who they are. Yet how easy it is to remember the truth and thus return home. And you guys can say this too. I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am the now. I am. Mm, isn't that beautiful? I'm going to read that again, the last one. I am not my thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am the now. I am. So beautiful. Brings tears to my eyes. I'll drink to that. Let's take a breath and just take a sip of our tea and relax. I've been thinking one of these tea circles, I'll just simply log on and just be quiet with you guys for an hour because sometimes that's all we need, right? Just to be totally quiet. So interesting because I'm preparing to take my daughter on this little camping trip with some of her classmates and the classmates' moms. And I usually don't hang out with moms. It's hard for me to have time. And so I made a commitment to do this. And it's been so interesting, just the texts going back and forth, just how many texts there have been about food and planning for the meals. And I am not a big planner. I just find whatever and I throw it all in a bag and I just show up and there's always enough. It's very fishes and loaves. And I just was managing about 35 texts around food and is there going to be screen time? Will there not be screen time? What will we eat? Who's a vegetarian? Who's gluten-free? And I was watching these texts go through and it was causing more and more anxiousness in me because I thought, oh God, I'm going to this place to not stress out. And yet there's all these details and all these decisions that somehow I feel like I have to make before I go to not stress out. And so I was sitting there just thinking of all the decisions we are making, every choice we're making is constantly, back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes we just need a reprieve. We need to sit and we need to have a cup of tea and we need to not speak and we need to be in the quiet space in between our breath. And so I was going to have us take just a few minutes of silence together so that we can really think through these intentions and also just be. If we don't want to think, we shouldn't have to think. But I think that it's so important that we just, or at least I have a few minutes of just quietness. So I'm going to do what I did before when I was first starting to meditate, and I'm going to set my timer. And I used to have to set my timer for 7 minutes to, when I first started meditating, I would do it in 7-minute increments. And that was all I could handle. It was like twice or once, 7 minutes. And then I went up to 11-minute increments. And now, I could do 3 hours if I had the time. So I'm just going to set our timer for 2 minutes. And I'd love you to take deep breaths while this is happening and look for the space between thoughts. And I'd like to see, as you've already set your intention for this new moon, I'd like to see if anything arises spontaneously for you as you are breathing and allowing things to arise for you versus jumping on them and letting them be a story. Okay, so everybody get ready. I'm going to set the timer, and the timer starts now. How was that? Mm. Hi, Debbie. Beautiful. How was that? What arose for you? The 2 minutes really felt like 20 for me. It felt like I was really in a state of expansion, which my soul and mind really needed. So that was very helpful for me. Yeah, it's good to stop for a couple minutes, right? Just to take the time to be silent. So, what arose for you? Did any surprises come up? Did your subconscious get a chance to speak? Did I noticed the cars were driving by, and at first I was annoyed by how busy everybody was with the traffic. You know, where's everybody going, kind of thing. And then I soon thought, oh, it's the sound of living. It's the sound of life. It's the sound of people going to pick up their children or going to get food for their families. I started to elevate and uh, divinate, divine, give them the divine reasons behind going places. So, yeah, Melissa, we are disconnected from our bodies and just tuning in, absolutely. And Lisa Johnson felt the word peace, peace, peace vibrating. Beautiful. Yeah, and Cynthia, your body got just quiet. Absolutely. I was moved to tell you all a story. So as I drink my Harmonize, Amaran was accepting the thoughts going through. Yeah. So in meditation, we don't have to attach to the thoughts. We simply watch them go by. And a lot of people think that meditating, you have to be silent and you have to actually, like, your mind has to be settled. Well, your mind doesn't have to do anything. You have to settle. You have to relax, and your mind will do whatever it's going to do. Sometimes it's going to speedily move through your shopping list, your grocery list. Sometimes you're going to wonder, you know, if something's burning. Sometimes you're going to wonder if you answered that email or forgot. Sometimes you're going to be thinking about this or that, going here or there. And all you do is you allow your mind to watch the thoughts instead of jumping in and acting on them. So, one thing that I find to be true about meditation is that it separates us from the story of I have to be here, I have to be productive every second of every day, I need to go buy that so that, you know, I'll look better, or I need to clean out my closet because Marie Kondo said to, or whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're not your story. You let the thoughts be and you just don't engage with them during the meditation. And whatever sticks is going to stick. The ideas that come to you that are alive, that you're supposed to fulfill on, those will actually seek you out again and again. So I always say, like, 2 trees make a row, 3 trees make a forest. So if the thought arises more than once, all you need to do is, after your meditation, is stop and sort of turn to that thought and ask it what it needs from you. So oftentimes we think our thoughts are just spontaneous, you know, flitters, but sometimes our thoughts are subconscious communicating. Sometimes they're divine communications, and oftentimes they are something that, if we ignore them, they will persist. So, in meditation, you watch them. After meditation, you can engage with them. So Suzanne says, reminded in art journaling class today, the primal response to instinct is to answer when called. Where a question is asked, an answer is invited, but don't rush answers, give them space to emerge. Oh, beautiful, Suzanne. That's so beautiful. I love that. When a question is asked, an answer is invited, but don't rush answers. Oh, that is perfection. Mm. Okay, I'm going to drink this whole pot of Harmonize, okay? If I don't sleep tonight, guess what'll happen? You guys will start seeing a bunch of tea blogs coming out as to how Harmonize saved my life today. Mm. Okay, my loves, I am now going to pull you a card. And so I'm going to take you, I'll be right back. Okay, enjoy the tea salon for a moment. Okay, all right, so I have 2 things that I want to Oh, Melissa, yeah, you shouldn't drink Harmonize late in the day. What time? So the caffeine in Harmonize is, oh yeah, the lipstick. Oh, Anne, of course I'll give it to you. So Harmonize, oh yeah, Frida. Oh, do you guys want to see this? It's actually really cute. Hold on, let me show you. I can't wait till you can all come in person. Hold on. I think she's smoking a joint, but look at, she has a teacup over her breast. Isn't it fabulous? I love it. Anyway, okay, that's my share. It's so perfect, isn't it? I know. I can't wait till we can drink tea naked and not get arrested. It'll be fabulous. Oh, and Anne, the lipstick is Lippy by Butter London. And I have candle wax on it, but the shade is, can you read that? La something, La Moss or something like that. Anyway, that's the shade of lipstick I'm drinking or wearing. Okay. So I was inspired during my quick meditation to tell each of you a story. Okay. So about 7 years ago, maybe 6, I had a women's circle on a new moon. We had it in my yurt at the time. Now I have a teepee. And the story is going to be an instructive story. So like every time I throw a party, my mentors, Gay and Katie, will say, is this a party with a purpose or is just a party? And I'm like, it's usually with a purpose. So this is a story with a purpose. We're going to glean something from it, okay? So, and to answer your question about Harmonize, it's low caffeine unless you drink a whole pot. So it's got about 20 milligrams of caffeine in it. If you drink a whole pot, you're drinking about 120 milligrams of caffeine, which is the same amount of caffeine as coffee, except for this tea. The caffeine in this tea is not going to affect the nervous system as much because the L-theanine in it, but it will give you beautiful skin. So you don't want to drink a whole pot of this in the evening, otherwise you might not be happy with me. But you know, I don't mean to drink, or I don't mean to make you drink caffeine at night. Just sometimes it's too good. Okay, so once upon a time, 6 or 7 years ago, with my women's circle in my yurt, we set an intention to remove all the obstacles to our destiny. So we created a circle and we wrote down what are the obstacles to my destiny, and whatever they are, my intention is to free myself of those obstacles. Okay. So one of my friends wanted to pay off her debt. She felt it was holding her back from her destiny that she had this debt. And so what ended up happening is she said she wanted to be able to rent out her house and use that money to pay off all of her debt, because she had paid for her daughter to go to college and she was in debt over that. And she ended up within a couple months living on a sailboat with somebody paying a really nice sized rent to her. And I think she's either debt free or she ended up funding a business and now she's super successful. So that was one thing that happened. Another girlfriend wanted to meet a man and wanted to fall in love because she felt her biological clock ticking and she felt it was her destiny to be a mother. So she ended up meeting an amazing man who got her pregnant, and now they have this beautiful daughter. The man didn't necessarily work out, but she got her baby girl, and that was her destiny, and it was very clearly her destiny. So I had about 17 women in my women's circle at the time. And I did not know what my destiny was yet, other than doing things like this, gathering women around tea, writing, loving each other, creating community. But really, I'm a revolutionary. Deep down inside, I want to change the world. I want to end poverty for tea workers. I want to end poverty for women. I want there to be women running corporations and running countries. I believe that women are wired to take us into the future safely and more peacefully and more kindly. So I had this big question where I basically asked the universe, I asked God, I said, I don't know what my destiny is right now. I was still working at Zhena's Gypsy Tea. I had these investors. I didn't own the majority of the company anymore. I was working on my first book, Life by the Cup. I was doing all these things, but I wasn't really sure where I was going with any of it. So I set my intention on a very powerful new moon, just like this new moon today that we're in. And I set my intention, please, God, please, please, please remove the obstacles to my destiny so that I may not waste any more of my life, any more time, so that I may hear you directly, so that divinity may work through me, work through my hands to create that which will help others in the way that I was meant to. Why you made me, just show me what it is and I'll get there. So we said deep prayers. We planted seeds in the soil around my property. We did all these things to really solidify and ritualize the setting of an intention, which you can do tonight. You can do today. Setting your intention on this new moon is going to be a very powerful manifester for you. It will manifest something. So I asked to remove the obstacles of my destiny. And within 2 days, I was fired from my company. Zhena was fired from Zhena's. I was with my daughter. She was 2 at the time, maybe 2 or 3. And I was in the yurt working on Life by the Cup. And the chairman of the board called me and he fired me. And it was over diet teas. They wanted to launch these diet teas. They weren't healthy. They were very high in senna. I told them absolutely not. I didn't want to participate. I didn't want my name on him, so he fired me. So it took about a week of me crying and sobbing and praying to Archangel Michael and praying to Mother Mary and just on my knees, just absolutely torn to pieces over this. And one of my best friends from the women's circle came back to me and said, well, maybe Gypsy Tea was a block to your destiny. Have you ever thought of that? And so on the new moons, we can often ask for something that's more general. We can actually set an intention for something that is, dear God, please remove, or universe, please remove the blocks to my destiny. What I didn't realize then was that I couldn't actually be owned by a group of men. I couldn't actually do what I want to do with bringing women's circles together all over the world and through tea and through transformation and love of each other and community. I believe that is how the revolution is going to happen. We are part of a revolution of love. We are going to build communities and heal cities and heal schools and heal families because we are wired to do so in this day and age. It is the time for women to rise, not in a violent way or not in an opposition way or not in a fighting way, but in a quiet, gentle way that's going to begin in our living rooms and with each other in gatherings like this. And I knew that was my destiny, but I did not realize that my company being owned by a group of Wall Street investors would be a block to that destiny because they thought all of this was frivolous. They thought all of this was just marketing. They were like, well, you don't make any money at these things. We're not going to do it. And I was like, oh my God, the point is, this is not like, the point is to gather women. They just absolutely couldn't see it. So my block to my destiny was the fact that I had sold a majority of my stock during an economic downturn. I really didn't have a choice, but the block to my destiny was that. And so we have to have faith that when we set these intentions on the new moon and we set these intentions together and in collectivity and connectivity, that we know that sometimes things that happen right afterward may not necessarily be the most easy, relaxed, beautiful thing, but it's always right. Everything is working for you. Everything is working so that your intention may become clear. So as we are planting these seeds and intending these seeds, right, especially around our home, our relationships, are we looking to increase the love in our lives? Are we looking to give more love to others? Are we looking to experience more love, more expansion, more growth, more peace? All of this is so important. And beautiful. Oh, I'll catch up. You guys are so damn cute. Oh, you're talking about my lipstick brands. Okay. I love you. I'm bearing my soul, and you're trying to figure out my lipstick flavor or scent or look. What is it? La something. It's a really dark one from Lippy, from Butter London as the brand. I love you guys. So is it better to set a general intention or a specific intention? It's really, the more specific you get with intentions, almost the more general they get, right? So if you say, I want to find my mate, you kind of look at what is it behind finding your mate that you're after. I want to experience more love. Okay, so you can be very specific, but know that the specificity may arise or may arrive to you in a slightly different way. I am too, Melissa. So as I was asking for, I wanted to know my destiny, and I wanted to understand what was blocking it and to let that go. I didn't realize I would have to not only get fired, but get fired in a very intense way, because then it would be for sure, right? So what happens sometimes is that the universe has a little bit of tough love for us. So just know that what you may be experiencing after you set this intention is for you. It's not to hurt you, it's for you. So always take the reframe of anything that happens, right? And look at it as a for you versus a against you. Okay, my loves, now I'm going to pull a card for us as we close our circle. And I'm going to pour more Harmonize. So I've drank that much Harmonize. Oh, there's so many. Oh, so glad. So Rebecca's asking if we do a dream board on the new moon. I tend to write more on the new moon, but I often will do visuals. I'll do a vision board probably. I do one maybe twice a year. Normally around my birthday is a big time, or around another milestone. So this year we'll do a vision board workshop online, because normally I do them in person here right before the new year. But we can do them together here as well online, because I don't think we'll be doing in-person gatherings again this year. I'm certainly not thinking that's going to happen. But creating a visual reminder of what you want to manifest is fabulous. And what you want to do is make sure that it is the way you want to feel. Whatever I put on my vision board is what I want to feel, not necessarily what I want to get. Are you guys seeing that beam of light above my head? It's really interesting. There's no skylight. Okay. That's the universe saying, get on to the reading, lady. Okay, so once again, I'm going to use the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle deck from Alana Fairchild. But our friend Colette Barron Reed has a new Oracle deck that's coming out in the next few weeks. And so I'm going to be bringing those in, and I'll have those on the website as well. And Colette's Oracle box is phenomenal. If any of you have ever had the Oracle box, but her Oracle cards are amazing. So I'm going to pull a card that will serve your soul individually, the soul of your family, the soul of your community, and the soul of our world. The message that will come forth will serve each of you to achieve and to accomplish your highest good. So beautiful. I've never pulled this card before. Maybe, Anne, this is for you. Grandmother of love, granddaughter of life. Grandmother of love, granddaughter of life. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, Amaran has the new Seven Energies deck. I can't wait to get it. Okay. Colette Baron Reed predicted me to my husband over 20 years ago, well before I met him. She is quite a powerful goddess, that one. And her husband's my husband's best friend, so we have a connection from outside of Oracle decks. Okay, are you ready, my loves? Okay, and I know. Okay. I am the grandmother of love. I am wisdom. I am the ability to learn from experience that helps you become free from repeating patterns and empowers you to direct your energy into new and more fulfilling pathways. Look within your heart and trust in the wisdom you find there. It is guiding you now out of your past patterns and onto a path of more happiness and freedom. I am the granddaughter of life. I am potential. I see what the future can be, and within me, there is a seed of life that must grow into fullness. This is so good for the new moon. Trust me, I am within you. I am your energy, curiosity, and instinct to grow. For me, life is never new. Oh, for me, life is ever new, an unfolding adventure, and I trust that I will be guided to fulfill my destiny. See that? You are a wise being. You have within you a capacity to understand and learn from your past choices and experiences, along with the willingness to apply that learning in new choices and behaviors. This is spiritual intelligence with which you are greatly blessed. When you believe in yourself and your own heart wisdom, you will make great strides on your path. You are, in fact, able to travel far on your spiritual journey very successfully this lifetime, to make great gains in your overall soul growth and spiritual progression. But you must trust yourself for this to happen. You are asked in that trust to give up any notion of the right choice or perfection. Wisdom is acquired through learning. To the human mind, that involves making mistakes, but to the soul, mistakes don't exist. There is only life experience that can ultimately contribute to the creation of wisdom. The soul doesn't see mistakes. The soul doesn't think they even exist. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. When the oracle of grandmother of love, granddaughter of life comes to you, it is with this specific guidance. Give up judging yourself for your past, for your struggles, for what has been. This is even for times when you perhaps believe you have let yourself or another down, for missed opportunities, for when you believe you have failed in some way. I'm going to read that one more time. Give up judging yourself for your past, for your struggles, for what has been. Okay. Can I get an amen? A women? All of that is just food for the soul to digest so it can become more empowered, more open, more present, and willing to engage more with life. It is not what you have done that matters. It is what you do now. It is not who you believe yourself to have been that matters. It is how you choose to be now. Isn't this wild that this and the reading from earlier is so aligned? Yeah, I love it. Give yourself that wisdom, that permission to accept that for your potential to become all it can be, it must go through life. And that means missteps and struggles as much as it means great, graceful flight. The colt who will become a swift and sure-footed stallion will still need to go through having an ungainly wobble until it gets used to its legs. In the bigger scheme of things, those wobbles, as humiliating or challenging as they may seem in the moment, shall only be a small sentence, not even a whole paragraph or chapter in the greater story of your soul. If you have been punishing yourself in any way for a decision you have made in your life, or for some perceived failure or other, you are asked to adopt a more soulful perspective. Dispense with regrets, guilt, or shame as soon as you can give yourself permission to do so. Rather, ask yourself what can be learned, what can be forgiven, how you can love here instead. And then move on, gently, firmly, lovingly, just as the child naturally moves on from infancy to the next stages of life, and the soul naturally grows in wisdom, compassion, and love with the process of life experiences. This is such a good one. Within you is great energy and wisdom, potential, and the means for its fulfillment. Just as the acorn holds within the template an instinct to become an oak tree, so too within you is a natural pattern for growth that honors your soul, your own unique life purpose. That innate intelligence understands that what has to happen for you to fulfill your divine destiny. It doesn't have to be controlled or directed or even understood in advance. It just needs to be heeded and trusted. This oracle comes to you with guidance. Within you, there is a seed that wishes to grow, something that wants to develop into fullness, and it requires learning from your past experiences to be applied so new potential can come to fruition. Do not be scared to do things differently now. Do not be scared to break new ground and rely on your intuition and instincts even more than you ever have before. If you simply trust in what you have learned, trust in the guiding feelings and wisdom of your own heart, you shall progress very well indeed. The universe is loving at its heart. It provides us with the training we need to progress through each life experience. You have been perfectly prepared through your life experiences to take the next step on your journey now, to bring that which is within you into fullness in the world. It will take time, but it will happen. Remember that always within you is the chance to begin again, start anew, to be fresh and open, to align yourself with the divine child within. In this sense, you can choose to never age. Let's do that because we're not aging. Tea helps us never age. Whilst you can gain wisdom through your maturity, you never have to feel you have done all you can't wait. Whilst you can gain wisdom through your maturity, you never have to feel you have done all you can do, and that's that. That may not always seem comfortable, but if you can accept it, then you will grow throughout life, keeping the ancient wise one and the energetic child within ever stronger in bond. If you cannot accept this, then it is just age that will claim you rather than living, and you are capable of so much more than just growing older. I love that. Now we're going to say the prayer that comes with it because we're almost time. Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they are yours. Richard Bach. Oh, Amy, Richard's a friend of mine. I wonder how he's doing. I haven't talked to him in a while. Okay, my loves, we're going to do the healing process now. I skipped a couple paragraphs because there's only this much time today. Healing process. Gaze at the card for several moments and say the following prayer. Grandmother of love, granddaughter of life, Kuan Yin, who loves me unconditionally. So this is a lot. You don't have to repeat it. So I'm just going to read it for you, and you can just look at the card or close your eyes, okay? Grandmother of love, granddaughter of life, Kuan Yin, who loves me unconditionally as enthusiastic child and wise elder. I call upon you now. Please help me to trust in my own timing, in the greater timing of all of my life cycles, my dreams and my plans, and of my own divine becoming. Help me let go and trust that life loves me and wants me to grow. Help me to trust in my own wisdom and in my own potential, and bless me with your merciful grace. I shall be all that I am destined to be. I have no need to fear. I trust myself. I trust love, and I trust life. I trust in your loving help and protection now too. So be it, and so it is. And with that, I want to close our circle. If you have any tea left, you can bring it to your lips. I want each and every one of you to know that every thought and every action that you make is blessed. Whether or not it's a dark thought you're moving through to get on the other side, back into the light, it's okay. Whether it's fear because the world is trippy right now and things are shifting faster than some of us can imagine finding solutions to, it's okay. Every single element of you, every thought, everything is blessed. Allow yourself to be in deep compassion for the perfection that you are. Allow yourself to be in touch with the divine nature of your soul, because you wouldn't be alive if you didn't have that divine nature. Your soul is living through you. Your soul is the driver, the one that is waking you up with these exciting new ideas. Allow yourself to be ageless because your soul is ageless. Allow yourself to be wise because your soul is wise. Allow yourself to be compassionate because inevitably we'll make mistakes. I see you all manifesting and getting closer to your destiny than ever before. I see you kissing the lips of your destiny and uniting with it. I see you in full fulfillment. I see your hearts and your souls beaming the potential that they are into the world and making our world a better place. As the ripples of that love permeate our world, the world is reflected anew back to us in the light that we are, in the light that we create. And so it is, and so shall it be. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me. And I so appreciate you. And next week on Tuesday, it'll be back on Tuesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And I hope this was helpful. And please keep me updated. Zhena at clubmagichour.com. Let me know how your intentions are going. Let me know how you're feeling. I try to get back to everybody 100%. I'm still catching up on some Child's Pose emails, but I just want you to know that I read everything. I'm on top of it, and I'm creating things for you because you are my muses. You are the muse. All right. Thank you so much, sweethearts. Have a great night. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I'm excited. Okay. Take good care. Bye, loves. Thank you.